This morning I'm working on finishing up the interior of the Morris Minor. That involves two or three different projects itself. One of them, I've been putting sound deadening material on the floor. This particular section here is a product called Kill Mat that I found on Amazon, of course. And I had started out using Dynamite Extreme. The fine product, kind of expensive. The Kill Mat was a little less expensive, but I think it's also thinner, although I haven't definitely checked that. This was a pretty laborious project, putting this down all over the whole floor. Then behind that, I came in and put down the underlayment for the carpet. The only place that has underlayment right now is the center hump there that came with the carpet. I'm probably gonna get some commercial carpet underlayment and put under the other portions of the carpet here. I thought I had that in the past when I had the car on the road, but not real sure. So one thing you have to be careful about with the Dynamite Extreme and the Kill Mat is little pieces of the material get left from your trimming and cutting, and they've got that butyl backing on it, and you sit on it or you stand on it, it gets stuck to the bottom of your shoes. You track it in the house. It cleans up pretty easily with mineral spirits, but you just gotta clean up behind yourself. I was saving the little scraps of the material to fill in gaps on the floor, but the really little shreds that you cut off the edges and that sort of thing are what get you. And I spent a lot of time cleaning shoes. I actually sat on some and got it on the rear end of my shorts and had to clean that up. Sat on a white chair in the house and smeared black stuff all over it. But like I say, it cleaned up just fine with mineral spirits. The real project this morning is installing a 3-point seatbelt safety harness, whatever you want to call it. And it should have just been a bolt-in because I had them in there before I sent the car off to be cleaned up. But my restorer dude replaced these sills on the doors, and in so doing he got rid of the mounting holes for the inertia reel for the seat belt. And so this is a closed box section here, and so I had to come in with a hole saw. Let's see if we had to come in with a hole saw and cut a hole in the box section, and then I was able to drill through the side of the box section and put a nut and washer on the back of it, and it made a pretty good installation. It also gives me a hole where I can squirt in my preservation material, wax oil or fluid film, whatever I end up using to waterproof this box section. Because closed sections like that, you say they're closed, but moisture always gets in there and then rots the car away from the inside. I bolted the other end of the seat belt through this bulkhead here behind the seats and put strong backing washers on it. Fortunately, up here on the B-pillar, I had a built-in threaded section to hold the top of it's having trouble focusing on this, but to hold the top part of the seat belt. This is the seat belt kit as it comes out of the box. You can see at the bottom of the inertia reel the hole for mounting it to my sill in there. This is the strap that I'm not going to use. I'm going to use the old stock from the old seatbelt set. the requisite hardware for putting it together. This is made by Audu. I don't know. Came off Amazon, and you're probably surprised to hear that it's made in China. But it looks like a nice high quality system, and we'll see if it saves my life. The new seatbelt came with this for a buckle, which I'm sure is a fine piece of equipment, but I don't like the idea that it's on this floppy strap, so I went back to the old buckle from the original seat belts I had. It turned out it works fine, and same design to click in here. And but this is nice because it's up here holding it right up next to the seat. You don't have to fish around on the floor for it. So I think this will be a much better solution than the strap that they sent me. Keeping with my theory that every project breeds another project, here's the driver's side seatbelt installation in progress, and you can see the hole that I cut in the sill. And when I opened it up, I was kind of shocked to find that there was mud inside this sill. When I say mud, it was a mixture of water and rust. And so I sucked everything out the best I could. I used the shop vac with a piece of heater hose on it to run down through the sill and sucked as much of the moisture out as I could, but it was pretty tenacious. And so I poured a rust killer in there, a de-rusto kind of stuff. I'm not sure what the name of the product was, but I kind of about a half an inch in the bottom of this sill, and then I sucked that all out with the shop vac and put a little scroll fan on the hole overnight, and it seems to have dried it out pretty well inside. Again, I'm going to come back in here with wax oil or fluid film, some kind of a preservative, to try and fill up this sill, and not fill it up, but seal it, to keep it from rusting from the inside. Again, here's the attachment up at the top for the seat belt, the threaded hole up here, ready to accept the seat belt buckle. Daimler engine. That one's coming. Here's a sample of the Dynamat Extreme on the Firewall. You use a roller, which my buddy Terry loaned me his 4 micro roller, to make sure that the butyl adheres closely to all the different curves and bends and that sort of thing in the material, and keep moisture from getting behind it. And also, with better adhesion to the metal, you get better sound absorption according to the documentation. So I believe it. Okay, I've drilled my 7/16 holes here, and I always come along afterwards and use a magnet to pick up the little metal shards from drilling, because these are the seeds of future rust. And let me tell you, when you go to clean off this magnet, don't use your bare hands, because you'll get all kinds of little metal splinters in your hand and your fingers. But there's my hole. It had to be big enough to drop a washer in to back up this hole, to reinforce things a little bit. And then I can also put the nut down through there and tighten things up like I did with the one over there. Here's that magnet again with a second load of rust that I picked up out of the sill after doing my drilling and cutting. You gotta get rid of that stuff. I'm gonna put the vacuum cleaner on the hole and just suck up any loose stuff that remains. Here we are, like 90% finished up. Still got a few screws to put in and that sort of thing, but got the carpet all in place. The seat belts are installed, And glove box in place. Not too bad. Still got to put my door cards on. But I'm still waiting to do my rust treatment down in there. I've decided to use fluid film, and I've got it coming from Amazon today, I hope.